Okay, first of all, thank you guys for coming out. And I'm just gonna get started with what I wanted to say first. I'm not gonna be the only one teaching today. Samir came all the way out here from Ontario, and he has a technique that's really cool that he's gonna share with us. So he's actually gonna be doing the first little bit of teaching, and then after he's done teaching his technique, I'm gonna take over and we're gonna do some stuff that you guys are already somewhat familiar with, but we're gonna get really deep into it because we got a bunch of more advanced guys here today. So we're gonna be playing with the shotgun sweep and the De La Riva stuff a little bit more today. I just want to say a couple things to introduce Samir for those of you that haven't met him or trained with him. I met Samir a few years ago. I was doing a workshop for a couple of guys, John included, at his club in Toronto, and he was off in the corner and he was watching us train, and he actually came up to John and asked John to ask me if it would be okay if he joined us training. That's kind of like, that's how humble he is as a person. And I had a chance to roll with him. This was when I was mostly training no-gi, and I think I was still a brown belt, and I was, regularly tapping out black belts in no-gi. And I rolled with Samir, and I was like, wow, this guy's good. And then I found out that he's only a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. And the reason that he was only a purple belt is, and I won't get into it today, but there's a lot of politics involved, as you guys well know. And so I had an opportunity when I got my black belt to promote Samir to brown belt to kind of avoid a lot of unnecessary politics. And when I rolled with him in the gi, I was like, well, if I deserve to be a black belt, this guy deserves to be a black belt, but I can't give him a black belt because you have to be a black belt for a few years before you can give out black belts. And I told Samir that the day that I'm able to give black belts, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going to come see you and I'm going to give you your black belt. And we've kept in touch, and I'm obviously still not a second-degree black belt, so I was telling him that, like, look, it's going to be 6 years before I could ever give you a black belt, so I want you to try to find someone that can give you a black belt before I can. And his response was, well, no, you've been loyal to me, you've shown me a lot of support, you gave me my brown belt, I'm going to wait. I want to get my black belt from you. I believe in your principles, I believe in Island Top Team Jiu-Jitsu, so I want to represent you. And I was like, well, that's amazing, and that's the kind of person that he is. The terms loyalty and honor and integrity, I've kind of made fun of them in the past because they're used by a lot of douchebags in jiu-jitsu to encourage you to behave and follow what they say rather than actually follow integrity and loyalty for your own sake. And Samir is one of these incredibly rare individuals that actually represents loyalty and integrity, and I'm really honored to have him come join us today. So before he does start teaching though, recently I had a conversation with the guys at Pacific Top Team regarding when Shane was ready for his black belt, because he'd be ready before I was able to give out black belts. And I wanted the guys at Pacific Top Team to basically okay Shane's black belt. And I talked to Dave Rothwell, and he said that if I know anybody who's particularly worthy, that they'll sign off on me giving them his black belt. So before we get started, Samir, it's absolutely my honor and privilege to promote you to the rank of black belt in Island Top Team Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Rob likes it if you cry.
I'm a little surprised I managed to get that out without crying.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
brother.
Right.
That's
momentous.
All right. If Samir wants to say anything, please do. If you don't mind waiting a couple more minutes before we start training.
Never. Yes. Good.
Give me a second. You guys can appreciate how tough jiu-jitsu is. It's not an easy thing, and most people quit. And it's not about the belt. The belt just kind of tells you where
where you are on the journey. And I thought getting to this point would be about me, how many people I tapped out. That's what I thought it would be. And I've come to realize it's about how many times I was tapped out, because it changed. It changed the way I look at everything. It changed more than just jiu-jitsu. And having the opportunity to train Professor Roberts changed my life. I was so happy that John introduced me to him, and I was just humbled. And I hope you all know what a wonderful human being he is. You know, just to get on the mats with him, and generally, you know, I'm pretty good. And this guy was heel hooks and reverse heel hooks and leg locks, but there was no malice. And I thought, I want to learn from a guy like that. I want to be mentored by a guy like that that can bring me along on the journey. And I know this is like graduating from high school, you know, like now I'm just starting to understand the concepts of jiu-jitsu and how it affects your entire life. You know, it's a journey, and I traveled to BC to come here, but man, I'll travel to China. I'll travel to wherever this guy is. We're gonna travel, and I'm not gonna take too much of your time, but I think that loyalty is something really, really important. It wasn't the black belt. It was, you know, like if I had to wait 6 years, I would wait 6 years, because I know that's just 6 more years of learning, of growing. So it's okay. I was in a race before at one time, and then I realized, you know what? It's just, and when it happens, it happens. And I'm finally here, and it's a pretty #epic moment. And thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this awesome moment with me. And I think it's awesome to be here on the beach in the sun and the sand, and I hope we have a great day. I know we're going to have a great day, so I'm going to give him one more hug, because thank you so much. I'm not going to save you from the Twizzler, but
No, no. All right, so we're gonna get started?
yes.
All right, so take it away, Samir.